Saturn, while it's in Pisces, can highlight the entertainment industry and motion pictures, as we mentioned. This can also deal with dreams and what we imagine when we're replicating the same imaginable things, right? Pisces can also govern psychedelics and the soul. This can bring about new initiatives concerning substances, drugs, cracking down on drug substance abuse, right? And this can highlight bust in massive drug rings, right? Pisces can also deal with drugs. Saturn in Pisces, this is the authorities cracking down on drugs. We're going to see a massive shift in international law and the clarification around international laws and restrictions. And we might even see some more scandals dealing with figures, with public figures. And Saturn will be in retrograde around the time of the election. So this can show us some interesting events with world leaders and authoritative figures. And this can also show figures of authority coming together, especially around spiritual, religious matters as well. Saturn in Pisces, we could see a lot of adjustments in paperwork, a lot of religious groups, and condensing and really reforming a lot of laws. So this transit, y'all, is going to be a very beautiful one. Sagittariuses, the Capricorns, the Aquariuses, the Virgos. This is a great transit for y'all, and the Geminis as well. This transit is going to be beautiful for the Geminis for the rest of the year. But then going into next year, that Saturn in Pisces, it's going to have a more defining aspect. And yeah, in the next video, we're going to go into what each zodiac sign can expect from this transit. All right, I got y'all. But Saturn, being the sixth planet away from the sun, and in traditional astronomy, traditional astrology, it's the last planet away. The third planet from the Earth is also the sixth planet away from the sun. This is why if you look at some traditional astronomy, Saturn and Pluto might sound very similar. Saturn can deal with being cold, dark, emotionless. Saturn is the last planet away from the sun. It's not getting none of that heat. It might not be getting none of that light. But yet, Saturn is still able to restrict and give Jupiter responsibility, right? Because Saturn is at the edge of the solar system in traditional astronomy. Jupiter is in between Mars and Saturn. So Jupiter got Saturn next to it. Like, hey, Jupiter is about fun, right? How we celebrate, how we like to express love and our jovial nature, right? Saturn is like, okay, you could do all that, but I'm still on your ass. Being the ruler of Capricorn, this is the sign of business. And Astrostetics, we look at Capricorn as the executive. Well, that means Saturn is also an executive as well. Saturn is the boss. And Saturn also can deal with the system. The system can deal with organizing, organizational structures, right? So it's important, y'all, that we understand these astronomical and astrological dynamics. In no way is Saturn the timekeeper. We literally use the sun and the moon, and really all of the planets, all of the bodies in the solar system can, in a way, create our perception of time. When people say that time can deal with Saturn, yeah, we use the 10th house or the southern meridian to calculate what time it is, but that's based on the sun, and it could be what constellation is in that part of the sky map. So the Saturn, in a way, what does Saturn have to do with time aside from mastery, experience, finesse, becoming an executive, becoming seasoned in your work? That's Saturnian values. This is why Saturn can deal with authority, because you put your work in, you have responsibility, and that comes with the passage of time. So when we look at what you're doing, what you're saying, and what you're thinking, Saturn is going to hold you accountable for that. So when you say something off, Saturn, we prove all the way Saturn is not the timekeeper, but Saturn is the principle of the zodiac. Saturn got a ruler out, and if you do something crazy, Saturn is right? If you do something crazy, Saturn is on your ass. Or Saturn might not even say nothing to you. Saturn can, especially when it's in Pisces, it's about the spiritual aspect. Pisces can also be silent, very private. Pisces is invisibility. It's one of the signs of invisibility. Between Cancer and Scorpio, Pisces is the most invisible. In the traditional aspect, Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. And you know that when you get to Uranus and Neptune, you cannot see those with the naked eye. Maybe if you're in like a remote desert and somewhere with no light pollution, you could probably deadass see Uranus, maybe. But Neptune, you're not see that. So Neptune being the ruler of Pisces in tandem with Jupiter, this is when the zodiac gets transcendental. But when Saturn is in here, Saturn is calling us to focus on our spiritual psychic awareness. And with this can lead to a lot of spiritual growth and mastery for some, right? So yeah, we went through all of the well, not everything, but we went through a lot of the astronomical variables on Saturn. And y'all, everything that I mentioned in this video is in this book, all right? This book is 500 pages. You can purchase it in the description below. It's Astrostetics. Let's get it, baby. Yeah.
Astrostetics.